What's going on, guys? Victor here with a brand new video, and this video is going to focus on one of the fights on the UFC 257 card. This is going to be my last video before the pay-per-view does take place tonight. If you're on the East Coast, it's at 10 p.m. On the West Coast at 7 p.m. So obviously there is a fight on there that really intrigues me. It's going to be the women's bout between Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Ribas. Obviously, the R in Portuguese sounds like an H in English, which is why a lot of people get confused when their name looks like Ribas, but it sounds like Ribas. So it's Amanda Ribas versus Marina Rodriguez. 12-1 versus 10-1. Obviously, both these fighters have a lot of upside in the UFC strawweight division. So obviously, both of them have a lot of great talent. And Amanda Ribas is definitely one of the most up-and-coming women stars in the UFC. She first came to prominence when she defeated Mackenzie Dern and took her O a couple years back in Tampa. A lot of people thought that Mackenzie Dern was a new flashy thing with the UFC, that she was the new next prodigy child, that she was the next star, that the UFC was going to exploit a lot, especially for women's MMA. But she ended up being derailed. That whole hype train was just taken down in one night by Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas then went on to defeat Paige VanZant and basically kicked Paige VanZant out of the UFC. So obviously Amanda Ribas has a lot of upside. She has a lot of talent, and she's not afraid to go for the finish. And when she did fight Mackenzie Dern, she didn't have any problems going down to the ground because it barely got there at all. She's obviously another Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, just like Mackenzie Dern, so they kept it on the feet the whole entire time and just dismantled Mackenzie Dern in every single type of way possible on the feet. On the other side, you got Marina Rodriguez. She's obviously a late bloomer. She started training mixed martial arts at the age of 25 in Brazil. She used to be a fantastic swimmer, and she used to do a lot of the other sports as well. She is an athlete coming into the MMA world, and she's about 32, 33 right now, so obviously she's had about 6 or 7 years in MMA. And she's also another feisty fighter. Her last fight was against Carla Esparza, the former strawweight champion of the world for the UFC. She unfortunately lost that fight via decision, but before that fight she did end up facing Cynthia Calvillo, who ended up moving down from 115 to 125, and she ended up getting a split draw against Cynthia Calvillo. I obviously believe that she did win that fight, even though it was a back and forth battle of attrition the whole entire time. So what are we going to witness when this fight comes out? We're going to see a lot of pace. We're going to see a lot of action. I believe this fight will be going to the ground, and we don't know who's going to have the upper advantage, but I do believe it's going to be Amanda Ribas because she does thrive once she's on the ground, and she can get those submissions up there pretty fast. She can get the arm bars, she can get the guillotines, the rear naked chokes, she can get the Darce chokes, all these different chokes Amanda Ribas has over in her display. She also works at American Top Team, the best mixed martial arts gym and the biggest one in the whole entire world as well. Basically, American Top Team has a lot of different locations all around the world. They've got some in Brazil, they've got some here in the US, they got some in China, they got some in Italy, they got some, like I said, all around the world with so many different coaches, so many different bodies that are in that gym with so much experience that can be able to give you that experience so you can be able to learn as much from them as possible and take that into your fights. Then you've got Marina, who obviously trains fully in Brazil. She doesn't train in the US at all. She relies everything on her country with the gyms that they have down there, with the resources. Even during this pandemic, she faced a lot of adversity before her fight with Carla Esparza. Apparently she was in quarantine for maybe 3 or 4 months, plus a quarantine over in Fight Island because of a lot of different reasons with the whole situation in Brazil. And I do believe she did a little bit of traveling as well that caused that whole entire 3-month period of quarantining to actually go down. So obviously Marina wasn't able to get the best camp off possible for that fight with Carla Esparza, but she was able to get a full camp ready for this fight with Amanda Ribas. And I believe that Rodriguez's best chances is going to be on the feet. She is a very well-rounded kickboxer. Her striking is very elite, just like Amanda Ribas as well. It's going to be the basically two young fighters one fighter that's in her prime and one fighter that's kind of working towards her prime as well, in Amanda Ribas. And they're just going to put on a huge show. If you ask me who's going to win this, I believe that Amanda is going to win this. She's just been looking very good during her last couple of fights. She's been putting a lot of work in over at ATT with the best coaches and some of the best fighters possible. Obviously, you got fighters such as the champ Amanda Nunes that's there all the time. You also got her girl as well. I forget her name, but it's Amanda Nunes' wife, who also happens to train in ATT and is a very good women's fighter in the UFC as well. So a lot of different bodies, a lot of different experiences I can get over in ATT versus the gyms down there in Brazil. But there are elite talent in Brazil, don't get me wrong. Obviously, you can get some very good training done in Brazil, but it's just not the type of training that you can get done here in America with the type of facilities that we have here and everything like that. Not knocking down Brazil at all, because Brazil also has some amazing facilities. They got some amazing fighters. Jose Aldo has always trained. He has always fought out of Brazil. He's never trained here in the U.S. He's never held a full camp here in the U.S. whatsoever. And he was basically one of the most dominant champions in the UFC. And he's trying to make another run in a different division. In a different division, the second division, obviously from featherweight to bantamweight. So obviously there are elite fighters that train out of Brazil. And then you also got the Nogueira brothers as well, who've always trained out of Brazil. So not knocking anything down from Brazil, but I do believe that Amanda Ribas is going to win this via decision. I believe it's going to be extremely hard to try to finish Marina Rodriguez, but Marina Rodriguez is definitely going to give her the best shot and try to get the huge upset here in Abu Dhabi. Well, obviously I'm here in the U.S., but over there in Abu Dhabi, they're 9 hours ahead of us. The fighters are going to be waking up really early in the morning to be able to fight. So definitely looking forward to that. They're going to be the first fight on the main card, which starts at around 10:15. So that fight specifically is going to start at 10:15, and then all the other fights will follow suit after that. But I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. It's going to be action-packed. Most likely going to be on the feet. You're going to see a lot of grappling. You're going to see a lot of rolling. You're going to see some combinations, some jabs, some power shots, significant strikes here and there. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for tonight, UFC 257. Main card 10 p.m. here on the East Coast, 7 p.m. over there on the West Coast as well. It's going to be a good one. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the rest of your days. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and enjoy the night of fights.